Aloha! We're at Pacific Aviation Museum, Pearl Harbor. We're in the belly of an airplane known as the B-17E Flying Fortress. It was called the Flying Fortress because it had so many guns in it, and in this waist position they'd have 50 caliber guns on either side, and a top turret and a bottom turret, and they were able to fire in all directions to protect themselves against the enemy. This airplane, the Flying Fortress, went into service just after the Pearl Harbor attack. It passed through Hawaii and served here for a little while, and then went on to Australia and Java, where it flew against the Japanese. And on February 22nd, 1942, it was involved in a bombing raid at Rabaul. And even though 9 airplanes took off, only 2 made it to the site. This one and one other, they bombed Rabaul, and this airplane was involved in a running gunfight on its way back to New Guinea, dodging through thunderstorms, getting shot up by Zeros. They managed to get away because B-17s are tough. They didn't have enough fuel to get over the Owen Stanley Mountains, however, so the pilot, Fred Eaton, decided to put down in a field on New Guinea, and he put it into a field. It turned out it was a swamp, and the plane settled into the swamp water. Eaton and his crew managed to hike out. It was a long hike, 4 weeks or so. They had malaria and everything else. But the B-17 was forgotten, and it stayed there for years and years and years. And then the Australian Army found it on maneuvers, and they gave it the name Swamp Ghost. Now, Swamp Ghost is not the name that it originally had, but it's the name history has given it, so we're using that name. And the plane is here at Pacific Aviation Museum, Pearl Harbor, because we want to preserve her in the way that she stands as a relic for the bravery and dedication of all those early aviation pioneers who just blazed a trail, both in combat and in civilian flying all across the Pacific. So please donate. We want to preserve this airplane for future generations.